What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lamonts Gym Customized Show, the number 3 podcast. Um, Day 3 of the war in Iran. This morning, uh, Secretary of War Hegseth did a briefing along with the Joint Chief of Staff. And I'm gonna tell you something. Hegseth, that's a director of war, a Secretary of War. He fits the bill. He is a beast. He's a monster. Um, Listen, the members of President Trump's cabinet, I consider all of them professional beasts, professional monsters, and I mean that in the greatest complimentary way. Stephen Miller, I think he was my favorite for a long time. I mean, this dude looked like a 1980s serial killer, but he is smart, intelligent, and he knows what he's doing. Uh, Today we got to listen to Hegseth. He's smart, intelligent. He knows what he's doing. Mr. Kennedy, Make America Healthy Again. He's doing a great job. Christine, listen, all these cats doing great jobs. Scott Besson, the financial dude, all doing great jobs. But this morning we listened to Secretary of War Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs Commander. And listen, there's a lot going on with this war. We've lost three. Well, as of the recording of this podcast, we've lost four um, patriots. We could have been 7 or 8 because I think one of the Gulf countries was retaliating or mistakenly thought they was shooting at Iranian Air Force and hit our planes, but they parachuted out quickly. The residents of those areas got them to safety, and thank God for that. But bless you guys. Um, we are at a critical point in history. A critical point. And listen, I'm 53, and they said for 47 years, and I'm assuming that goes back to the President Carter's days, that the regime that Israel and the United States just taken out, that's when they took hold. That's when they took power, and they have been a nemesis ever since. So more than half of my life. Hell, how old was I? 6, 7 when they got the power. And see, listen. You would hear things on the news, back in them days, and as a kid, I'd hear went in one ear right after the other one. But some of that stayed in the brain. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the Ayatollah Khomeini, when it comes to the different factions of the radical Islamic world, you know, it's almost like the name changes every year. There's the Houthis and the Kuthis and the Dukis, but the Ayatollah. I listen. Hell, it's been 2 or 3 movies um, with state function terrorism, and the Ayatollah has always been part of it. You had a dictator from all the evil countries, and the Ayatollah. Right off the bat where this guy's from. He's from Iran. And in a couple of podcasts ago, I did a special on Iran, and You know, to my knowledge, and I don't know this for a fact, but to my knowledge, for all the way from the biblical times up until the '60s, I want to say it's been Persians in some way, somehow, a Russian or Soviet dictator renamed the country to Iran, which means Aryan. I'm assuming. Listen, go do your research. Don't trust what I say, because honestly, I don't know. Shouldn't be saying it if I don't know. But yeah, as of the recording of this podcast, we've lost four, um, but the mission's not done. And as Secretary of War said this morning, the mission will be complete. I think what Israel is doing, because a lot of missiles has been launched out of Iran, thousands and thousands and thousands. I mean, I think that they said 2 to 3 thousand missiles in just a 36-hour period were launched. So what they did, they start um, taking down the missile launchers. Smart strategy, because you can't launch a missile if you don't have missile launchers. So they drop bombs on planes, missile launchers. And listen, these guys are smart, very very smart. So now, once they get the threat from the air out, they're gonna have to infiltrate the grounds, because there's a lot of good people in Iran. If you've noticed, the demonstrations all over the world. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, America. And it's actually United States of America, but thank you for taking down this tyrannical regime, so the people can actually form a prosperous government, and get out of the hole with they're in. For all producing country, look at the surrounding countries, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Kuwait, and uh, all those Arab nations that are just rich, flowing in money, all money. And you want to sponsor terrorism with the money you get, because I think China and Russia was getting oil from Iran and Venezuela. So I don't know how that's going to work for them. But then again, I also heard that Russia produce a pretty good bit of energy. So I don't know if that's natural gas, oil, or what, but they produce a good amount of energy themselves. But I think the United States have demonstrated once again that we are the most dominant power on face of the earth. Um, I'm going to do a deep dive today. Might not do a video or a podcast on the subject for about 3 or 4 days. Gonna let some things kind of iron out. But I am gonna do a deep dive into the early 2000s, which I think that's the second time we went in Iraq to kill Hussein. I'm sorry, yeah. We went into Iraq and Afghanistan because of the terrorist attacks of 9/11. But I think within that time, we were still dealing with Iraq, um, as well as Afghanistan. So when it comes to Iran, was Iran sponsoring and financing Osama bin Laden and the terrorists of that time? Because I'm hearing conflicted stories about post 9/11 all the way up until Barack Obama's presidency, that the United States gave Iran so much money. And I'm in my mind, I'm trying to think, for what? It couldn't have been for all. It was getting all from Kuwait and Iraq, because hell, they stopped producing it here for some stupid reason. But well, hell, we know, environmentalists. But why was Iran? Was they were just giving them money just so could y'all be cool? 3 4 years, we're gonna give you this money. Y'all just shut the hell up. sit down somewhere, but they was giving billions and billions of dollars. And like I said, I'm gonna have to do a deep dive to understand why. I had some conversations over the weekend with some very, very important people. And as we're preparing to have dinner, have lunch, I said, you know what? Let me go grab a few things, and hell, I'm gonna cook. I want y'all to enjoy a home cooked meal. The products that I purchase, I promise you, and nobody believes me. I got the receipts. The products I purchased were $3 to $4 cheaper than they were 4 years ago. And I honestly got butter, meat. I always get steaks. I always get the certain type of butter. I always get the same type of aluminum foil, etc., etc., etc. And it's like $3 to $4 cheaper. I said, wow. Everybody's talking about affordability, man. Groceries are cheap. Why did I say that? I said that to say this. Just in a year and a half almost, our lives, the Americans of the United States, our lives have been better financially and for most spiritually. As a matter of fact, we don't have a spiritual revolt, with the death of Charlie Kirk. But so why are these people so miserable and want to doomsday everything? You know who I'm talking about. The leftists, the lunatics, the liberals. These people are miserable between their two shoulders, man. Miserable. You had a sick fuck in Texas, Austin, Texas, killing all those folks in Austin. And I'm like, come on, man. And they trying to tie that to the bombing in Iran. But our lives so much better, and they're gonna get better once we get these terrorists that wants to cause us harm, wants to cause the Israelis harm. Once we get them out of the way, life will be better for a whole lot of us, man. It's better for me now. Listen, my prayers and thoughts are with the soldiers and the sailors and the airmen who out there that's fighting on my behalf, that are fighting on the behalf of the Israelis, and other countries who have been hit. My thoughts and prayers go out with the deceased. You can't forget that. You can't push that to the side. God bless them. May they rest in peace. But for the living and for the future, things look so bright. But you just got some people that can't stand that, man. They can't stand it. And I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. But I am going to keep doing my part, get my butt up, come to work, make sure my family's straight, and throw all my support towards our soldiers, our airmen, our sailors, and my president. And by the way, just a little side note, we had a shooting in Oxford at the mall over some tennis shoes, sneakers. And, locally it's been all over Facebook, people, giving a little 2 cents. And, listen, you got people out here doing dumb shit, stupid shit. And listen, I was young and dumb and stupid. But life is so great right now. We couldn't say this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We couldn't say it. And we can say it now. And damn it, I feel good. I know my country's at war or in a active engagement of war. But these are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're the best of the best. God bless them. God be with them. But they're doing that on my behalf so I can live free so I could wake up happy every day. And thank you for it, man. Thank you. Oh, this is the last thing, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. So I'm driving over the mountain, and you start seeing whites blooming, reds blooming, pinks blooming. So my butt decided to um, roll down the window, and my nose has not stopped running yet. So if you're anything like me and you have severe allergies, go get you some Claritin, stock up on your allergy pills because I think this is going to be a brutal spring. And the reason I said that, hell, we had a real bad cold spurt around the end of January, beginning of February, and after that it's been warm. And at my house, crap started blooming the second week of February. We're in the first week of March. And a lot of that stuff is in full bloom. And I know what I'm allergic to, like the chickweeds. Like if you drive it up and down the road, and anything you see that's white blooming, it'll tear my butt up, tear me up. Anything white that's blooming right now will tear me up. And it's only gonna get worse for about the next 30, 45 days. So if you're anything like me, stock up on your Claritin. Have plenty of tissue to blow your nose, because that's what I'm doing now. But other than that, if you live in Alabama, listen, we up for 7, 8 days of beautiful, beautiful weather, clear, sunny skies, 70 degrees. It's gonna be great. Ironically, I was watching my weather guy, and just north of us, just north of Tennessee, like in Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, it's gonna be blizzard conditions. And I'm like, wow, we gonna be in the 70s and they gonna have a damn blizzard. So I don't know what kind of weather pattern this is, because normally at this time of year, if it's cold and rainy and snowy that far north, we're gonna have a system that's gonna come through Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, that's gonna bring us tornadoes. But as for the next 7 days, it's gonna be clear and beautiful. So get out and enjoy it. Thank God that you're living. I love you and I appreciate you. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, like always, I love you and I'll see you next time.